bet of a man on his deathbed. He wrote a get to her on Erev Shabbat, and the reason for this is because he doesn't want it to fall to Yibum. He didn't end up having a chance to give her the get on Erev Shabbat. Shabbat came and his sickness got worse. Shabbat, okay, wait, sorry. Rashi says that you can't give a get on Shabbat because it's mukseh. So they went to Rava, and Rava said, tell your wife to make a kinyan on the room which the get is sitting in, and the get will become hers. Now Rashi holds this kinyan is kinyan agav. What is kinyan agav? Kinyan agav is when you want to give someone a piece of land and a movable object, for example, an animal. In order to make a kinyan on the land, you would have to build a fence around the land, break an existing fence, or lock the door. And when the buyer makes this kinyan, they acquire the land and the movable object, the animal, even if the animal is not sitting in that land. Usually you would have to make a kinyan mishicha on the movable object, which is pulling. But over here it works automatically via the kinyan on the land. Now the Rishonim ask a big question on Rashi. We hold that kinyan agav, the movable object doesn't have to be sitting in the land. It could be sitting anywhere else. So why did Rava say to the dying man, tell your wife to specifically make a kinyan on the room which the get is sitting in? He could have said make a kinyan on any piece of land and the get would become hers. Now because of this question, the Rishonim argue on Rashi. They hold that it's kinyan chatzer and not kinyan agav. Kinyan chatzer is when you make a kinyan on the land, on the room, and then the get would become hers because the get's already sitting in there. Now, there's a machloka rishonim whether kinyan agav works mina Torah or derabanan. Tosafot in Kiddushin learns that kinyan agav works mina Torah, and Tosafot in Baba Kama learns that kinyan agav works mina Rabbanan. Now, the Ketzot HaChoshen learns, simply speaking, that kinyan agav that Rashi must hold kinyan agav is mina Torah, because in Kiddushin and Gerushin it has to be D'oraita. It only works D'oraita. Now, however, the Ketzot HaChoshen says that Rashi can hold kinyan agav is really midrabanan, but work mina Torah, because we have a case of kinyan d'Rabbanan that works to divorce a woman mina Torah. On Daf Ayin Chet Amud Aleph, we have a case of a man throwing a get to his wife, into his wife's Daled Amot, and she's divorced even in the Rishut Arabim. So the Gemara, if the husband throws a get into his wife's Daled Amot, she is divorced even in the Rishut Arabim. So the Gemara in Bava Metzia states clearly that the kinyan of Daled Amot is midrabanan. Yet we see that it works d'oraita. Now there's a machloke rishonim how Daled Amot, which is a kinyan d'Rabbanan, works mina Torah. The Rambam holds.
I mean, she's divorced midoraita, even though she got it midorabanan.
Yeah, it's a Daled Amot d'Rabbanan, but it still works mina Torah.
She's divorced doraita, she can go marry another man.
Yeah. Think so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So there was a machloke with the Rishonim on how Daled Amot is a kinyan d'Rabbanan, but works mina Torah. The Ramban holds that when a person marries a woman, he has in mind that the rabbis can do whatever they want to the marriage, and that should work. Therefore, when they say Daled Amot is a good kinyan, and him giving the get, by her giving the get, by her getting the get, the rabbis uprooted the marriage retroactively, meaning she is divorced, but the main part, the ikar, is that she was never divorced in the first place by the rabbis uprooting the get retroactively.
They were never married.
They were never married, yeah. So that's how we could say kinyan agav works. This is how the Ketzot HaChoshen learns Rashi, that kinyan agav works is d'Rabbanan, but works mina Torah. Now the Ran learns Daled Amot works a little differently. He learns it through Hefker B'din Hefker, which is when the Chachamim can take someone's money and make it ownerless or give it to someone else. And then when you give it to someone else, it becomes his D'oraita. Now there's a question, why did the Ketzot HaChoshen say? Because it makes it D'oraita. If you're giving the...
What are they being left here? What do they do after here?
they're taking the Dal Amo and giving it to her. So she's receiving the Dal Amo and the get because it's already there. Question: why did the Ketzot HaChoshen say that Rashi can learn Kinyan Agav works by the way the rabbis uprooted the marriage retroactively? Why didn't they say it works through Hefker B'din Hefker? Says Rav Shmuel Rozovsky, the Ketzot HaChoshen didn't want to say that Kinyan Agav works through Hefker B'din Hefker because that would not be called Natan B'Yada. We call the rabbis would be giving it to her, not the husband. But in Dalet Amot, first the Chachamim give her the Dalet Amot, and then the husband gives the get. So that would be Natan B'Yada, and that would work. Tosafot and the Rishonim learned that the way she received the get was through a Kinyan Chatzer. The get was in the room, she received the room, and then the get was hers. Tosafot is bothered by a question on this. There's a Gemara that says if a man tells his wife, "Here's your get," he puts it on the ground, and then he says, "Pick it up." It's not a good get. So what's the difference between when he says, "Here's your chatzer," she acquires the chatzer, and then the get becomes hers, and this case of him telling her to pick it up from the ground? Answers Tosafot, since it goes from his domain to her domain, it's like Natan B'Yada. Now, the Mordechai asks on a Gemara